1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... Shady politician in my bed, tying bolts of lightning.
I'm just trying to explain to you what no one ever seems to write about us or explain about us, or you know, all we're concerned with is being involved with humanity. You know, I don't give a fuck about records and charts and stuff. You know, I'm being honest. On Top of the Pops is the lowest, right? You know, we're not involved in all that. We're really not involved in all that at all. Yeah, they turn it into. They want to pigeonhole you into something that is not necessarily what you do. I'm sort of a cross between a lot of people, media-wise, being that the first person that really turned me on to like really with when I decided what I was going to do was Bob Dylan, because I realised that I started as a poet. I used to write when I was about 9, and I realised that if I use what really moved me as a human being, which is rock and roll, not pop music, because that is too wide, the gap, rock and roll. And I put the words that I felt very deeply inside me, that it would be all right. And he was successful at that, and I figured I might be. I don't like the idea, which happens in rock and roll, the idea of people actually using, a current trend to promote any song that happens to be around. And they promote the group on the level of, so makeup's in, we'll all make up and wear Flash Gordon jackets because it happens to look funky, and the kids will think we're really with it, man. I mean, I didn't want to get involved in that because I was kind of lumbered with, just because I wore glitter under my eyes a couple of times, I was lumbered with being the person that did all that, along with a lot of other people. I don't want to be stuck in any kind of hole with what I should do.
So you did disappear almost without noticing it yourself.
Well, no,
it was
arranged. It was arranged that I would get out the papers for fear of being totally labelled alongside David Cassidy and Dolly Osmond, which is not what I'm into, and I never was, as if anyone knows anything about my history. I felt at the end of 1974 that we'd had about 14 hits then, and I felt I was kind of becoming a hit machine. And every 3 months I was putting a single out, and it was expected of me.
So you consciously, deliberately pulled out?
I wanted to get out of it because I was being stuck alongside David Cassidy and Donny Osmond and that. And there's nothing wrong with that, believe me. They're all nice people. In fact, you had Cassidy on the other week, David. He's a nice man, right? But, I mean, Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is the original T.Rex name, started in '67. And I initially was an underground act or an album act, And I kind of felt that, my songs in particular weren't anything like Puppy Love. So I felt I was getting lumbered with being. I enjoy being a teenage idol. Don't get me wrong, I adore it, and I love it when the kids, show their appreciation. But I did feel that I was wrongly being segregated into being. As you say, the innovator of glam rock, which is cool.
I know what you mean. You were looking for respect as a musician, really.
Well, I started out having respect as a musician, and I could see myself losing the respect. See, the most important thing about me is I don't care about critics, But fortunately for me, people like Lennon, Bob Dylan, and various other people like my music, and they respect my words, And it's kind of like I felt that if I continued doing that. And all the records, believe me, all the singles I've made I enjoyed, but I was getting to the point, I think it was about Truck on Tyke, one of those records, when I was beginning to realise that I was really into a formula, and I had to stop that. So I took a year off, I went to America, I lived in Monte Carlo for a while.
And you didn't work at all then?
No, I did nothing but just sit back, watch videos, just really be a punk, I'd just be lazy.
A street punk.
Right, a street punk. I just laid back and enjoyed what was left of my wealth. What I'm going to do, I think, is put out solo records as Marc Bolan, probably using the guys as well, but experimenting. As a nuclear.
What then is the real point of that?
I'd like to try and do some ballads, I don't mean in a schmaltzy showbiz sense. I mean something like Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands, you know, my equivalent of something like that. Maybe even 12 minutes long. But if I do it under Marc Bolan, I can get away from the fact that it'll be treated like a T.Rex record. I mean, it might not sell for all I know, but I mean, it would be nice to do.
Whatever happened to the teenage dream? Surprise, surprise, the boys are home. My guardian angels run down my telephone. The heat's on, mister. Can't you hear them scream?